Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to look at episode 5 of Dragonball Gohanverse by Daitomodachi, and I definitely did have to do multiple takes because, like for the last most of the year, I still can't say his name without fucking it up. Which is definitely not the case because I definitely got it right in the first take, and this is definitely the first take, and I'm not bullshitting because it definitely was the first take. Which it was, because it is. Believable. Me being unable to pronounce any name aside, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. We're just going to jump right in and see what the hell they're going to do now that they've gone full Rick and Morty. Full Rick and Morty. They even have a council of Gohans in a stolen ship from a universe franchise that I'm not going to mention because it just is too obvious. It's definitely Battlestar Galactica. Just going to wait for the hate comments to finish writing and then we'll move on. You good? We good? Okay. Let's get started. That reminds me, I gotta look up it's right at the beginning, I know, but I want to find more of their work. This is really a good beat. I would love to get them like right up there with strings on the level, just really cool, catchy beats that you hear and it's like, yeah, that's the thing. Ooh. Oh, he's just watching him power up. No, this is Dragon Ball. Light shows.
Isn't this interesting?
Yes, you're now literally black and white.
Take this outside.
Fine by me.
I want to make a joke about how the white one is evil, but I think that's a little too on the nose. Also, it's kind of interesting how they go red eyes, so it's more albino in this aspect. Chi-Chi's worried, and Piccolo's just done with this shit. And random, actual, cool, older Gohan with a scar. Ooh! And he has the most anticlimactic pose ever. I do love that little effect, though, they just put in. I'm going to go back a bit so we can hear it again. Like, wait for it. That could probably start playing that hope. Right there. That little noise, it's... Sorry, this is the little audio Foley effect that I absolutely go gaga over. Right there. That is actually the sound they use in most of Dragon Ball Z, at least in the American dub, whenever there's any like little floating effects. So when you hear someone flying or using ki to move, you hear that little escalation of high-pitched sound. I'm not a Foley artist. I can't do it to save my life. But when I hear that, and I know exactly where it's from because it's so nostalgic because it was used in so many of the old Dragon Ball Z episodes, specifically Z. I don't think they flew enough or ever really in G, like just regular Dragon Ball to do it. And in Super and GT, I honestly don't even remember if they have that sound effects. But in Z, though, it's just literally like, okay, here's just a tiny little audio reminder of all the awesomeness that they made sure to take. So it's a continuity aspect right there. And it's such a brilliant small detail that they could have completely ignored because everyone flies. It just is there. But just to give him that little bit of continuity, just to make him seem more like he fits in Dragon Ball, they added that tiny little effect. And it just, I love it. I love it so much because it's such a little thing, but it ties the character in so well. Especially considering this entire process is literally a giant pile of what the fuck. So a little thing like this just really helps ground it, which is weird because it's literally a sound effect used explicitly when people are off the ground. But looking aside of that, it just works.
Oh, great. Absalon.
Oh, he has a name? Absalon?
Listen, I know I'm breaking the Gohan Accords. I know this is possibly due to PTSD from the El Hermano incident.
The what?
But
Romano?
I cannot let this continue. That Chi-Chi, that thing, is everything that a Chi-Chi shouldn't be.
Huh.
I'll gladly take any punishment.
You can actually see how the eyes are just drawn on here.
Let the degeneracy continue.
What are you talking about? I'm here to give you an offer.
What?
Huh?
What?
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, you've broken at least one accord. But if you make this an official Gohan duel...
Oh, now that's interesting. Sorry, just a lot of things here I didn't notice on him before because we never saw many angles on him. Also, wow. They're the same height. He is really short. Official Gohan duel, that's cool. Because there's apparently rules. They're, again, like I said, full Rick and Morty, which technically was also taken that from Fantastic Four because they did it first. But whatever, I'm going to ignore that because it was less popular. Also, I know more about Rick and Morty than Fantastic Four. But just everything about him. So Capsule Corp still on Earth, but he has the red tail. So this is him from a GT aspect. The scar, that is brutal. Like, I'm going to go back a step just to really look at that. This right here, you can actually see a bit of the shadow showing. This is a scar that's so incredibly deep, but it also healed really badly. So the skin is actually missing on top of it. Like normally when you do a scar, it's just like a line. You just show it as closed. But here, this one is raw. It's still open. The skin is not healing here. And you can see, because they added a little bit of shadow, that it's actually down to the flesh itself, like underneath the flesh even. That is a really wicked one. Like before, you kind of saw it's like, okay, he has a scar over his eye. Select your next anime character, various aspect next. It's basic character creation at this point. But here, the detail you see where you can actually see that it's the skin is above there. So that's the muscle of the face underneath it. And it's just a small shadow, but it shows you that. And it's disturbing up close. And then you just get here and he's GTB's tail. He has the Saiyan Frieza series, whatever words I speak, style of boots that Vegeta wore when he first came in and all of the various Frieza troopers wore. But then he still has Capsule Corp. He has the fur around it, which honestly just looks cool. It's just so many aspects of so many different things to make a shout-out character. It's literally a mishmash, but it all works together really well. This is actually a really cool character design.
Then you're not breaking anything. I'll even preside over it.
Preside?
Gohan duel? Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Oh god, he's such a...
Hey, Emo. I'm going to explain to you what's a Gohan.
I think I'll just call him
duel,
Emo.
Since you're new to this. The Gohan Accords allow any Gohan to challenge the other for certain things. Hell, we had one for a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I didn't see what the big deal is since
It's not even that they did the JoJo effects on the screen, but you have him grabbing his ass to do the freaking pose. Kind of doing it here, not as much, but... Okay, to be fair, a chicken sandwich actually sounds amazing, so I completely understand the fight over it. It makes perfect sense to me. Also, I'm pretty sure in canon, Saiyans probably have fought death matches over food. Just think about it for a second. It's definitely a thing that happened. I'm not even joking, that's the worst part.
I'm more of a Popeyes fan.
I heard they actually
If
have
you
good
win this
sandwiches.
duel, the Council in Black will leave you alone.
Council?
But if Black
In
wins, then not only will he get off scot-free, but we'll allow him full reign on your mom's reformation process.
Oh my.
He's right. She's way too slutty to be.
Usually I have to pay a lot more for that, probably.
Keep in mind, though, to win, you must incapacitate your opponent. However, various Gohans have died during these duels. You accept these terms.
Okay, so this is really awkward for me. Like, they're doing so much good posing for all of the characters. The voice acting is great. But then, I thought he had his hands in his pocket at first. But just no. Straight down, straight in. No movement, no bending, just there. It looks supernatural, especially since they're held really tight. Here, you can see how he's flexing a bit. He's, like, tensed up. He's really on edge. This Gohan's relaxed. You see him crossing. It's like, okay, yeah, the posing's really good. Here, it would look more natural if he was freaking T-posing on them, which he kind of is, because he's like, yeah, I'm just going to lay down the rules and you can do your crazy, stupid shit. I don't really care. It's going to be fun. But it's such a weird thing, especially since Daitomodachi, I cannot say it, just Dai, does really good animations, and everyone he works with does really good animations. So seeing something that's so blatantly misanimated is such an oddity. I guess it is just kind of a throwaway section. It wouldn't really matter, but considering they put the work and everything else, it stands out a
You
bit.
accept these terms.
Like, see, he's even swaying a bit, just not standing perfectly still.
Are you?
Do you want to fight or not?
Oh yeah, he wouldn't really actually understand that yet.
As long as I win and you guys piss off, I'll accept whatever
Again,
dumbass
super straight arms.
pointless duel you have.
Excellent.
Finally,
You
movement.
hear that, you cum dumpster? After I win this, you can go back to the shitty mom you are.
Wow, actually acknowledging the mother part.
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Awkward walking animation. But
Son, I'm a terrible mother.
Yes, we kind of knew
My
that.
father is just always away, and I just get so lonely that
And to
can't
be fair, the
help
version
it.
we saw in the previous
I'm
news was
such
even
a
worse.
slut that the word is a compliment for me these days. Hell, I'm poaching for a new boy toy.
I am literally your son from an alternate universe.
I thought it was going to be the entire thing about, okay, she's reformed. She wants to change because she saw another version of that. No, it's so much worse. To be fair, and I hate myself for saying this, he already calls her mommy. Yeah, I hate myself for saying that as much as I thought I would. Still said it. I'm judging myself for that too.
Keyword alternate.
Run away, dude. It's not worth it.
Gohan Black is right.
But
I do need to change. But
oh god, she is
kidnapping and
self-aware.
forcefully training me isn't the way. People should be able to change at their own pace, for their own reasons.
She's making a good
so
point.
Please, son, win.
Huh. I wasn't expecting
Gohan?
actual good points.
I'm proud of you.
I wish you told me that sooner.
You guys ready?
How the fuck did they do that? That is mood whiplash. Literally, it went from, yeah, you're gonna call me mommy, to, I'm proud of you, son. And I know I'm not a good person, but I want to get better. And that's why we need to do this. And I did. How does it go from literally over the top shitbag to actual parent with good messaging and the great music in the background, really selling the emotion? It was a perfect take there. Just quiet enough that you can kind of ignore it, but it's there and it fits the emotional swell of this is the moment where things are going to change. And it takes the entire thing and reformats it in literally seconds. This has gone from we're just following the villain because it's funny as hell to this actually is a good point about not forcing change, because if it's not done yourself, that's a real point. That's a good point. That's a great message. It works. He's no longer the villain. He's actually doing the right thing now. I'm sure he'll fuck it up later somehow, but at least right now, they've just reframed the entire fight. We're not watching the good guy. I was not expecting that. And it was done perfectly. Like, that is something you rarely see. Normally, it's much more ham-fisted. And just that tiny bit of self-awareness, calling her a slut is a compliment by this point. Yes, it's irreverent, it's silly, it's funny as hell. It plays up the character stereotype she is in every episode previously, and in multiple other animations Daitomodachi has done. I cannot say his name, dear God. In literally seconds, they just flipped the script. That's brilliant.
Begin.
I will admit, Gohan,
Punch
I'm
him
quite
mid-monologue.
impressed. It's not every day a Gohan your age achieves El Blanco.
I mean, you usually gotta drink
I'm so
tequila.
impressed, I'll allow you 3 hits before I'll show you my final form. Then you'll
Does he
know
merge with
who will win
God or
this
something?
duel.
What the hell is going on?
It's called
I achieved El
Saiyan
Blanco,
Pride.
but Black
They all have
seems
it.
unfazed by it. Hell, I would say he's not even worried. I
Yeah.
could spend some time figuring out why that's the case, or I could hit him really hard.
You are Goku's son. Oh God.
Oh, good job, Gohan. I rate that attack a 2 out of 10.
Oh. Yeah, he's not even feeling it. Ooh, right to the chin.
Ooh, 4 out of 10.
Okay, that's the fact he's not reacting at all. The explosion a little over the top. Sure, why not?
So, Gohan, how's Emo doing in this fight?
Bad.
Oh, he's doing poorly.
Yes.
Poorly. He managed to land some hits on Black.
He let him in.
Hits
He was
Black
just talking
aloud,
through it after a
and-
gut shot.
They haven't really damaged him.
It didn't even knock the wind out of his diaphragm.
Splendid! Absolutely splendid, Gohan!
Really? Because it looks like you're going to be
That
disappointed.
attack was a 6 out of 10.
Ooh.
Much better than your last one.
That isn't an
I
improvement.
don't get it. Those attacks should have sent you limping like Mom when Broly smashed her.
Good times. Good
Oh,
times.
damn.
I'll tell you
Honestly,
why, Gohan.
not the worst person,
You see,
depending on if it's
that
old or new Broly.
isn't El Blanco's true form.
What?
What?
El Blanco has specific requirements to achieve its full potential. It isn't enough to drink some magical tequila.
To fully reach El Blanco, an emotional trigger is what's needed. That's
that
right,
makes sense. That is the same
Gohan.
thing.
And since you stifle your emotions most of the time,
He can't reach El Blanco's true form.
with that said,
His weakness is that he's an emo. Really? It's like the plot twist makes sense. You can't find your real form because you're stifling your emotions. Because you're an emotional nut job who literally just feels depression and everything else is muted. He's literally... I don't... The plot twist makes sense. I don't know if I love or hate this development because his very name, the fact that they refer to him as Emo, not as Gohan, because of the multiversal aspect, highlights it. It's literally just putting a Chekhov's gun on the table and saying, hey, by the way, here's this thing. But we don't realize because that's just what we've been calling him. Because the other ones are like an entire history of Emo Gohan prior to all this. I've seen the videos. They're actually really nice. And funny as hell. But it's not a reveal up until you realize it is. I honestly don't know if this is really good writing or they just lucked into a plot twist that makes sense that they can really just use. I'm going to go with that last one. They just lucked into it by sheer happenstance. And yet it makes sense and they had to... Someone had to have written this line, realized what they wrote it, and then played it up because this is kind of brilliant, but it's that kind of brilliant you never would expect someone to get right away unless they had plotted out multiple episodes immediately, which, you know what? Sure, maybe they did. If anyone knows how far ahead these were written and scripted out, let me know because if it was one episode at a time, there's no way they would have done that intentionally. If it's multiple episodes, maybe even entire seasons worth, I could see that being a plot twist they thought ahead about. And I might need to give Dai more credit just because this is kind of a great twist with something they had established immediately. It's a joke at
let
that.
me show you the bee's knees of power-ups.
Going God or going Ultra Instinct? Oh, he's going pink! Ooh, light show. Jam done well. Nice. Ooh, even a crater. He was already in technically. Ah,
Now
the sound
then,
effect, the power-up sound effect.
It's my turn to play.
Love that so much. Ah, it's over? God damn. Epic guitar riff at the end. Nice.
Beautiful, is it not? I call
Ooh.
this form Rosé.
Rosé?
Super
Really?
Saiyan
Wine?
Rosé.
Is that actually what it's called? I don't want to ask if it's actually called that in Super. I really don't want to ask. Rosé. That's he's actually pronouncing it rosé, like the wine. You know what? This one is thespian enough. I assume he's probably very well aware of it. I'm sure he also has a bunch of maybe recordings of the musical Cats, specifically the play version, not the movie. I'm trying to just block that from my memory, and I regret making that reference to the thing I no longer remember. Ever. At all. I didn't make a reference to it. I regret nothing. Because there was nothing to regret because I didn't say anything. But moving on, this was good. They've redefined so many aspects. They've tied the initial joke of who this is as Emo Gohan. That's the joke. That's what this entire series is about. It's funny. To the reason he's not actually able to do his thing of becoming powerful as a Saiyan, other than getting the magic tequila. It's such a joke up until it was a plot point. It's brilliant. And then just the reforming of Chi-Chi. or at least the self-awareness of Chi-Chi, while still hammering home, that she wanted to hammer people at her home that she was related to. This was just brilliantly done. The dialogue was witty, but also very important to both plot and character development, which were tying themselves together in ways that most TV shows and movies struggle with. And this is just a funny, dumb, emo Gohan short on YouTube, and they just did it really damn well. If this is the level of quality that the early episodes have, I really want to see what comes next, because it's just setting my expectations so much higher. When we get to the Android 21 movie, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic, because if it's even half this good, I'm going to love it. So if you haven't already, there's a link below to the original video. Hit it up, because that was so good. And all the same, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Adios.